Flying Brian here, and it is Memorial Day weekend 2018 and the fourth Saturday of the month. And that means it's time for another Mecklenburg IDPA match, which is a fantastic opportunity to practice and perfect your firearm skills. Let's get started with Stage 1. The shooter starts standing behind the barrels facing downrange. At the buzzer, peek around the barrels to the right, careful not to break that fault line with your foot, and engage these two targets with 2 rounds to the body, 1 to the head, for a total of 3 rounds each. Careful not to hit the non-threat, the one with the hands painted on it. Now advance to the barrels on the left, use them for cover, and engage another threat behind the barrels, 2 to the body, 1 to the head. Advance forward right and engage another threat hiding behind these barrels, 2 to the body, 1 to the head. Now up to the wall for 2 more threats. You can go left or right, shooter's choice. In this case, peek around the corner to the right and engage a bad guy hiding behind this non-threat with 3 rounds. 1 must be to the head. Again, don't hit that non-threat. Transition to the opposite corner and engage the last threat with 3 rounds. In case you're wondering, the plastic bags covering the target will be removed once the match gets underway. Let's watch this shooter run the stage. Move forward to the barrels and engage another threat. Remember, all targets get 2 to the body, 1 to the head minimum. There's his reload. Peek around the corner for another threat. Over to the other corner for the last bad guy. And here's what it looked like from my perspective. Over to the barrels. Swing right. There's my reload. Over to the corner. Peek around. Don't hit the non-threat. Other corner. And done. Stage 2 starts way over on the right. The shooter faces these 2 threats straight ahead, with a non-threat conveniently placed in front of one of the bad guys. Each target on this stage is to receive 3 rounds. However, there is no headshot requirement, just 3 rounds per target. Now swing left where another bad guy across the range needs 3 rounds. Move up to this opening and shoot the threat in the back hiding behind the good guy. Okay, move over to the corridor in the middle and engage 2 threats in the room on the left. 1 here and 1 here. Let's watch. A little sidestep there so as not to hit the non-threat. Over to the left. There's his reload. Up to the opening. Over to the corridor for the last 2 on the left. There's another reload. Here's how another shooter chose to run the stage. Okay, and now it's my turn. Advance to the opening for 1 bad guy. There's my reload. Over to the corridor, where I can see the threat through the opening. 1 more on the left. All right, on to stage 3. The shooter starts in front of the green barricade. At the buzzer, peek around the left corner and engage these 2 targets downrange. Then look further right for another bad guy. Okay, where is he? There he is, right there. Each target will get 2 rounds on this stage. Back behind the barricade and transition right to the opening and engage these 3 by slicing the pie. That is, as they come into view. And of course, there is a non-threat in the way of that left target that needs to be avoided. Now transition further right to engage these 2 targets. That target on the right was previously engaged, so no need to shoot it twice. A stretch around the corner reveals one last threat hiding across the range on the left. It turned out there are a lot of ideas on how to best shoot this stage. Take a watch.
Stand by.
He starts with the 2 downrange. Stretch around the corner and get that one across the range on the right. Over to the opening for these 3. There's his reload. Now far right for the last 3. Okay, now let's look at how another shooter chose to run this stage.
When you move all the way out to the end of the stick.
He skipped the one on the right, over to the opening. There's his reload. He just engaged the target hiding over on the left. Over to the right, here he picks up the far right targets he skipped a few seconds ago. Now, the downrange targets. Done! You can see there are different ways to shoot the same stage. And now me. 2 downrange. One far right. To the opening for these 3. There's my reload. Over to the right for 2 more downrange. I am putting an extra shot in these hoping for better placement, but it adds time. Stretch left for that last one. Done. Stage 4. This stage has the shooter seated at a table, weapon loaded but not chambered, placed inside the box. At the buzzer, remove the weapon from the box, charge it, and engage 2 bad guys straight ahead with 2 rounds each. Get up, move left, and begin engaging threats around the corner. Staying behind the first fault line, engage these 2. From the second fault line, engage this one. And from the third fault line, engage these 3. Again, don't hit the non-threat down there. Watch. The first 2 while seated. The next 2 from the first line. One more from the next line. There's his reload. And the last 3 from the third line. Excellent. Now my turn. Engage the closest one first. Now these on the left. There's a reload. Now the next one, and the last 3. I took a few additional shots, but it does add time. Stage 5. The setup on this stage was simple and reminiscent of the IDPA classifier. Weapons are downloaded to 6 rounds. The stage was broken into 3 strings. The first string was shot freestyle, 1 round to the head of each target. Then stop and reholster the weapon. The second string was 1 round to the body and 1 to the head. Then stop, reload, and move the weapon to your weak hand. The third string starts with the weapon in the low ready position. At the buzzer, engage targets with 2 rounds, weak hand only. No makeup shots permitted on this stage. When done, each of your targets should have 2 holes in the head and 3 holes in the body. It will make more sense when you see it in action. Watch.
Stand by.
1 to each head, then stop and reholster. String 2, 1 to each head and 1 to each body. There's his reload. Everyone had different ideas on the best sequence to shoot this string. String 3, 2 rounds to each. Nicely done. And now how I did. And holster.
Stand by.
There's my reload. Stop, reload, and over to the left hand.
Stand by.
And done. Stage 6. This stage was broken down into 2 strings. The first starts with the shooter facing uprange by these metal uprights. At the buzzer, turn, then draw, and engage the 3 assailants, careful not to hit the non-threat. Then stop, reload, and get ready for the second string. At the buzzer, advance forward. Engage this target hiding behind the barrel as you move. Up to the wall where you engage these 2 from the first fault line. Move up to the corner and second line and engage these 3 remaining threats. As always, careful not to hit any non-threats. Let's watch how it's done. Turn, draw, engage. Then stop, reload, and prepare. At the buzzer, get this one behind the barrel. To the wall for 2 more. To the corner for the last 3.
I literally set a timer.
There's a reload. And he's done. And now, from my point of view,
Stand by.
stop, reload, and prepare. I put 3 in that one. To the wall. Now to the corner for the last 3. There's my reload. And done. That is what the match looked like. Always great fun and a perfect way to hone and improve your firearm skills. The match is open to the public and held on the 4th Saturday of each month. I hope you enjoyed that tour, and maybe I will see you out at the match in the future. Remember, life is a journey. Enjoy the ride, and thanks for watching.